stories and so many incredible people today that have recovered from incredible situations because they went out there into nature. And nature nurtured them. Nature restored them. Nature did not let them down because they bonded with nature. Now, I can't say that for everybody, but I'm going to say that for a lot of people that have come back to nature healthier than they went in. Okay? It's absolutely possible. Okay? So, the parasites, however they're created, however they're generated, however they invade us, we need to find solutions for their removal, for weakening them so we can gain the power, we can gain control over our lives, over our health. I've never heard of any doctor in a hospital. I love MDs because they're incredible people and they're trained to do specific tasks which are always needed, like surgery, and they're just incredible people. They're needed for so many factors, but I've never heard of a single MD talk about parasites. I've never heard of parasite explanation. I never heard of anything like that from a hospital setting. And that's okay. Someday they may start understanding that factor. But I looked into it, I researched it, and I studied it. And I am here to share with everybody. Parasites are a big thing. It literally attacks our organs. It hurts us on assimilating our nutrients. So if I eat the wrong thing, I'm feeding the parasite. That's why removing waste, removing heavy metals, removing industrial products from our body, especially too much aluminum and bromium, what that does is it weakens the parasite. Then we start to gain control, we start to gain function. Okay? So how do I remove or tackle parasites? How do we do that? We do simple, natural choices. Let's call it choices. My choice to share with you guys is the papaya. Everybody can do papaya. You can buy a papaya, you cut it in half, and then you start swallowing the papaya seeds. They're very incredibly powerful. And believe me when I tell you, they are also magnetic to the parasites themselves. If you do a papaya fast, for instance, okay, you have other factors involved as well. There's many incredible protocols, but papaya alone, it literally smashes the parasites into the seeds. Once you take it long enough, you'll feel the difference. You will feel the changes in the body because parasites will start coming out in your stool. Have I seen it? Yes. I have seen it in several situations with people I've worked with and helped out. Papaya seeds are very powerful. And then you can juice the papaya. You can absorb it by eating it, juicing it. As long as you cut it open fresh and take all the seeds out and start swallowing. You could do it with hot tea. You could do it with papaya juice. If you juice it, you make it, into liquid form. You basically have so many options with papaya. It's an incredible, incredible aspect of nature. Okay? And we give a lot of people 3 to 4 months to help remove a lot of the parasites. Now, all the parasites be coming out only if you're following very strict protocols, very strict, natural, energetic, positive goals. We want goals. We're so powerful that when we make an incredible goal, and we put all our intention on that positive goal, then other people around us become energetically powerful for that force. And then we heal. If there are 10 people believe in me healing, and they're all around me, only positive people, I will heal much faster. That's also a variable. Every single person next to you that is thinking of you positively, keep them close. Wishing you, praying for you, thinking the best of you. That is the most important thing to heal. And if a single negative person or individual or aspect, even a negative aspect, like watching something negative on TV or the radio, or some kind of social media that's negative, you shut it down, you turn it off, and you just move on with something positive. And you leave that for later. It doesn't have to be for now. Okay? So, removal of parasites is very important. It's very effective in healing, the healing process, because there's less pollution in the body made by the parasites. I'm here to also share that there's ways of losing weight very effectively, very quickly, and we'll get more into that as well. I'm going to open up the floor to questions now so that we can discuss what I have covered for today, and we will take it from there.
Hello, lad.
Unmuted.
Hello, lad.
I think he may have muted himself.
Okay, I've unmuted most of you guys, not all.
They can star
If
6
there
to
are any
unmute.
questions, feel free, okay? One by one. We can take turns.
John. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is anybody there?
We're here. We're talking to you. Boss, can you tell Brad what to do?
Not muted. John is trying to get in touch with you. He's trying to ask you the Vlad?
I don't see nobody muted on the device.
This is one of those things. Okay.
I'm going to call him Joffrey.
Okay.
And ask him to call back in.
Yeah, I think he dropped.
No, he's there. So this is something that the app does on occasion, where the host can't hear the guest. The host can't hear the guest, but we can all hear each other. It's a little quirky.
I'm glad you need to.
That's why I use myself.
Just here trying to figure it out. What do we do?
He should come back in again. No, he's not muted. We can hear him. This has been very helpful, this call, his talk. Looking forward to the Q&A. Looking forward to seeing him in person, actually.
Joffrey, I just sent a message to you back.
Roger. Well, thank you, New York, is just so lucky.
Yeah, we can't hear anything. We're trying. We don't know what's going on.
Okay. You hit the wrong button.
So we call drop and then come back in?
Yeah, that's what he should do. He should come back in.
Okay.
And thank you, Joffrey, for giving me the heads up for his talk tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. I hope I had some people from Philly on. Anybody from Philly on there? Unmute yourself and say yes or no.
Ron, you hear me now, Joffrey? Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'm back, guys.
Alright, Vlad.
Hey there.
I had a question for somebody in Philly, but seems like they're not on, so I'll yield.
No, you can ask the question because it's being recorded, Joffrey, so you'll always be able to send them the recording.
Okay. Yep. Okay. High blood pressure. No meds. What is recommended?
Kiwi.
So I would recommend
183 over 106.
Okay. I would recommend very highly the kiwi, at least 2 every single day. Your friend can take more kiwi per day with hot tea. So kiwi with hot tea, and change all the bad salts to healthier salts. You've got to focus on salt as well. Celtic salt is really, really good, and try to acquire it. There's different kinds of Celtic salts. It's not that difficult to find. There's a lot of health stores that sell them, and you just got to change the salts. You don't want to eat too much starch. The more starch we eat, the heavier weight it is on our organs and lymphatic system. So the kiwi is very important with the changing of our salt. Okay, that's the very beginning, and it will start making a difference.
Alright. The tea. What type of tea?
Focus on herbal tea. You can go to any organic store you want, and you could just ask them for herbal tea. They will show you the selection. Okay? And you could just
Thank you very much.
everything you want. You're very welcome.
Vlad, I have a question. It's Ibadene. What exactly does the kiwi do that helps to reduce the blood pressure?
Okay. So with keeping it simple, because you guys can always investigate the kiwi itself, I'm just going to keep it simple. It has a lot of nutrients. And the nutrients are aligned just with the nutrients that are absorbed and assimilated very effectively and quickly. Now, every single organ is going to take the kiwi. Remember, let's think of every organ as its own guide, its own consciousness almost, its own little entity. And they each are hungry. All of them are hungry for nutrients. And they communicate through minerals, but they need to rebuild and survive through the nutrients they take. So once they assimilate the kiwi, which also has very specific enzymes, it just assimilates, it builds, it heals, it stabilizes our condition. That answers your question.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Anybody else have a good question?
Hey, Vlad, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing? Is that what about food grade peroxide? Consuming.
Well, I have never used that before, and it all depends on who's trained to use that for healing purposes, for stabilizing, for prevention. I have never personally used that before. So I couldn't specifically say. If there's something I don't work with or I'm not familiar with, I'm going to tell you guys straight up. Okay?
Awesome. We appreciate your integrity, definitely.
I'm always going to be as honest as I possibly can, just to make sure that we all figure things out together. Do you have another question?
Yeah, I'm considering. Okay, that was high blood pressure. That product that you have, is it ozone? Is that good for cleaning your arteries and capillaries?
So I don't really work with ozone, even though I know a lot of health professionals and naturopathic doctors I work with closely, they do use ozone. I personally work with active hydrogen. Active hydrogen, I did mention when I was on podcast before that I work with active hydrogen. One of them is called Kangen. Kangen is a medically certified piece of technology, and I use it as a tool, just like you would use anything. And it really, really helps to not only for prevention, but it also helps to clean the lymphatic system, improve the nervous system. It's just active hydrogen is so powerful. We clean our foods, we clean our internal organs, our external organ, which is our skin. There's so many aspects of active hydrogen, if that helps.
And that goes back to specific regimens as far as how to use the hydrogen to flush your system, right?
Yeah, so we would drink approximately half a gallon of, let's say, Kangen 9.5 for someone that can handle the detox. And I'm going to explain in a moment what that means, handling the detox. It starts to hydrate us. It starts to remove heavy metals and toxins fairly quickly. It works with us. And our body understands the energy that's coming off the active hydrogen, because active hydrogen has a lot of energy. And the body soaks it up, it absorbs it, it assimilates it very quickly. And because we use 9.5, it's mostly for people that are not in critical situations. Now, if someone's critical, we just lower it to 8.5. We can do Kangen 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5. So if someone can handle it, they try it, they can handle it, they can take half a gallon every single day. They can make their food with it, they can make their tea and coffee with it, they can make a lot of different improvements to their habits. Simply put, they can improve all their habits, remove chemicals out of their environment just with active hydrogen, and something else we create is hypochlorous acid. Kangen is the ability to, the technology, is the ability to not only make active hydrogen, but we can also make hypochlorous acid, which removes and kills a lot of bacteria and dirt from places we don't want it to be.
Okay, so you're speaking to that's two additives that you would add to the Cajun water.
So the technology makes it. We don't really add anything specifically. It just makes these functions. You pick the setting on the medical tech, on the machine itself, and that's it. It generates it, it creates it. And we just have an abundance of it, of active hydrogen or hypochlorous acid. It depends on which function you press, and it generates the liquid that we need. Now, this is not H2O. So Kangen itself is not H2O. Okay, it's a completely different function. We call active hydrogen OH negative. That's what active hydrogen is, OH negative. For instance. Okay. So let's assume, for instance, I'm going to get even deeper for a minute here. If I wanted to improve my mushroom, if I wanted to improve essential oils, if I wanted to emulsify, mix, make it more bioavailable for my body, I'm going to pick active hydrogen. Now, there are other functions, other ways of doing that naturally, but in my experience, I found that active hydrogen is the quickest. There's no side effects. There's only detox involved, a healthy detox at that. And it is a very proficient and effective way to allow bioabsorption, bioavailability in the system. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't other systems and there isn't other means to do it. Of course there is. But this is the simplest function I've discovered, which we can make for ourselves once we have the technology or we know someone that has the technology. I'm always in a sharing mood with not only information, but with health. Someone comes to me and they need help, I'll do everything I can to reverse the situation or help educate on some level of what's going on so that they can make that difference in their lives.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else have a good question? I love you guys have really good questions. They're very positive, they're very motivated. They sound like they're going for a really, really high goal.
I have a question again.
Okay.
You didn't speak about it, but your therapies, your treatments, can you help with Parkinson's and dementia?
Yes, absolutely. So you mentioned Parkinson's and dementia. These are two different factors, and they're two different solutions. And I'm going to just give a little sample of each. Remember, you guys can always consult with me, make an appointment with me. I'll be more than happy to help every single person. And I will sit down with you and I will literally guide step by step why this is happening and how we can help it. So these are both chronic disorders, actually. Parkinson's is not genetic. Just, in my opinion, it is not a genetic situation. It is a chronic disorder. It's such a huge buildup of acid and industrial waste in the body that it prevents the system from working properly. So for Parkinson's, active hydrogen with the right nutrition, the right nutrients, and the right essential oils. You take active hydrogen, the right nutrients, which are living nutrients from living plants, and you take essential oils, which are like in tinctures. There's a lot of amazing companies that have essential oils. They help reverse, literally prevent or reverse Parkinson's. Now for dementia, well, dementia is a buildup of mucus. It is a large buildup of mucus in the brain, suffocating blood flow, suffocating oxygen to a certain extent. If there's a part of the brain that doesn't get enough of either oxygen or blood, then that's how dementia becomes more intense, more active, more uncontrollable. I hope I answered your question.
You did, thank you. I have another.
Go ahead.
I know you mentioned the papaya and the seeds for papaya. Understood. I also heard that organic banana peel has an enzyme that helps to kill a bacteria that invades the pancreas. Um, Familiar?
I'm not too familiar with organic banana peels. Even though bananas originally are modified, they are basically the bananas we eat in the stores. They're not real bananas. They're sweeter than real bananas, and they're basically an industrial creation. So I'm not too sure about that, but you can always do more research on it and discover. But I've never worked with banana peels.
Thank you very much. Now, are all bananas manufactured? Because I heard that the tiny bananas were more natural, or no?
That is correct. The small bananas that are not sweet, they are not sweet. Real bananas are much smaller and they are not sweet at all. They are the real ones. And I've almost never seen them in the United States. They're usually in the Caribbean islands, they're in South America. They're very small. They do not taste anything like what we have in the stores here in the US.
Thank you. Two more questions. So one, lupus, and can you help with lupus? And the other, you are in Brooklyn, New York. Is that correct?
Yes, I am definitely in Brooklyn, New York. I'm in the Midwood area. If we make an appointment and we can meet somewhere that you desire more than Brooklyn, then I'll do my best to accommodate. Otherwise, we can always meet in Brooklyn and we can have an entire session of whatever you require. Now, lupus is the nervous system, and there's a lot of autoimmune conversation with lupus, but it's mostly the nervous system. It's a lot of mucus and it's inflammation. So those are the factors that I would like you to process and take a look at. Mucus, a lot of acidity, and a lot of nervous distress. The nervous system is under massive distress. The lymphatic system needs to be cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
When you clean the lymphatic system itself very effectively, and I can always show people how to do that. Active hydrogen is a very powerful way of doing that as well with other functions, but lupus can be helped, it can be controlled, and several situations can be fairly reversed.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any Anybody else have a question?
My name is Glenn. Yeah, I was wondering, what do you charge for your consultations?
So depending on what the situation is, it's usually approximately about $150. But you're gonna get something with that $150. I'm not going to sit there and do a consultation and not give you something that you need. For that $150 consultation, I guarantee each and every single one of you, you will get something that you need for the situation that we need to discuss, we need to go over, and we need to resolve. So I'm not here making promises. I'm here giving you guys insight and showing you how to make the change. Okay? You will make that change for yourselves because you guys are in control of your lives. You're in control of your journey. I can't make promises that only you can make for yourself. Okay? That's so important to take away. I cannot make promises that you guys can make for yourselves, and you will make the difference. So yes, to answer your question, it's $150, and you guys will get something crucially important for the consultation that you need.
And can you give your number?
Yes, so I'm going to give you guys my number. It is 347-393-0630. I'm going to repeat that again, guys. 347-393-0630.
What's your name?
My name is Vladimir, and I'm a molecular hydration specialist. In the beginning, I just mentioned how if we change the nutrient intake, the mineral intake, we can change our body. We can help our entire system energetically. Energetically is very powerful healing method. Okay? Oh, Vladimir, like the Russian Vladimir. Vladimir. Just like the Russian Vladimir. You guys know Vladimir Putin, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not related to him, so don't worry. So my last name is SHCHEGLOV. I'm going to repeat my last name again. It's SHCHEGLOV. Now, whoever knows Brother Forrest, which is probably everybody, whoever knows Sister Becky, which is probably everybody, you guys can always connect to me through them anytime you guys want because they're incredible people. They're here to help us, just like I'm here to help us. We're all here together to help each other.
Permission to speak?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'm not asking no Tory because you don't want me to talk. Anyway, I'm concerned about the lymphatic system. You mentioned it, but I think most people don't even realize what it is. Now, I know part of it is the under armpits and up underneath the breast. I don't know where else it extends because I'm concerned about it because I think with using antiperspirants, that's how women get most of their breast cancer. And I yield.
Okay, it's a good question. Lymphatic system works with the nervous system. So when you're dealing with lymphatic, the best thing to do is to, in simple terminology, compare it with the nervous system. And also compare it with the weights in the body. So the nervous system, it always supports the lymphatic system. That's why we do lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage gets rid of a lot of fluid that don't belong in our body, including fat burning. including removing heavy metals. So yes, when someone is using a very specific deodorant, it will impact heavy metal intake every time we touch aluminum, guys. Any aluminum in your home, any aluminum outside, you touch the aluminum, your skin automatically absorbs the aluminum. It goes into our system, starts collecting, and then it becomes a formation. And the lymphatic system is also very important for prevention of the C word, okay? So a lot of anomalies, a lot of tumors, they are formed because of too much lymphatic overtake, lymphatic damage, lymphatic uptake of not just acids and fluids, but inflammation. Too much inflammation in the body is very dangerous, it's very harmful, and the lymphatic drainage is the only way. There's several ways of removing the lymphatic drainage to conduct it, to move it, to get the entire system cleaner. We call it lymphatic drainage. There's several methods of doing that, including tapping. I'm pretty sure most of you guys heard of tapping. Tapping is the simplest. That cause so many situations in our body.
Hey, TC3, if you want to call in, I just text you the number if you have a question for him. 520-525-8633.
Anybody else have a good question? We got a few more minutes, and then we got to go to the next podcast, guys.
This information was extremely helpful. I first encountered you on the Health Summit last Friday, Marcus's Health Summit, and it was powerful then. I shared your information with many people. I shared your card. It was great. Thank you for the work that you are doing. And yes, we are all here to make each other better. So thank you.
You are very welcome. It's my pleasure. If I can make a difference, if I can make even the slightest improvement in anyone's positivity to be greater, it's all worth it.
Absolutely.
But can I say one more thing? This is Joffrey.
Hey, Joffrey, go ahead.
Okay, I think I want to speak for most others and saying welcome. Welcome to GrownFolk Talkin. Express yourself. Glad to have you aboard. And I yield.
Thank you, Joffrey. I feel honored because you guys are incredible. You are incredible. Incredible people. Go ahead. Someone has a question?
I'm going to ask a question again until someone else does. Circulation. So a lot of people have circulation issues in their legs, neuropathy, which is a combination, right? But they have the vein issues. What would be good for that?
It's a good question. Active hydrogen is a very powerful means of reversing the problem and actually opening up the veins, opening up the blood flow. We also use pure cayenne pepper. So we take active hydrogen and we use not the cayenne pepper you buy in the grocery store. You gotta get really good high-end, probably imported cayenne pepper, pure. And then you mix it properly with the active hydrogen, and it helps. It helps a lot with that specific condition. And it takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to see very serious results, but they are very effective. Cayenne pepper and active hydrogen. Because cayenne pepper opens up the blood flow. It opens up removal of waste as well. It helps to restore that function.
Thank you.
Sister Becky, I believe you had a question for me. Sister Becky, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna.
I do have a question for you because I was sorry, I was muted. My question is, the Kangen water. I'd like you to explain how the osmosis, the Kangen water, it's like there's a lot of waters that have came out. They have, they come in Asian, and I know for a fact that Kangen water is okay. I'm a medical professional, so I can stick with that. My question is it because it's, these are new ones coming out and they're less expensive, that they're challenging the Kangen? What is your take on that? And I'd like to hear that because for me, I'm like 85% raw, 100% vegan for years, and I get a lot of my water from raw vegetables and fruit, but I still do take alkaline water as well, certain percent of that, and so I'd just like to know your take on it because I know that you're doing great work with your clients and your practice with the Kangen water.
That's a very good question, Sister Becky. So if there's an industry, a healthy industry at that, there are certain healthy industries out there. They're not all negative. Some of them are very positive, like the enagic Kangen industry. When there's a powerful industry like that, then all the other industries that want a piece of profit, they want a piece of glory, they will do everything they can to mimic, copy, duplicate such systems as the Kangen system. Now, is the Kangen system medically certified? Absolutely. So I always focus on medical certifications more than anything else. I love medical certifications because I can trust it on a certain criteria to benefit myself and others. So it's a trust factor at that when it comes to certifications. So if there's a filter, a reverse osmosis membrane, or if there's another, we call them ionizers, the competitors are always called the ionizers, they are going to try to take a piece of the market. They're going to try to copy whatever works. So if something works, the question is, why does this work? Why is it so effective? Well, because number one, it's certified. Number two, you can prove it real life in a real practical application. I also love practical applications. That's another thing we're going to talk about next time I come back on. Practical applications are very, very important because they prove to us what works and what does not work. Practical application. So if I want to emulsify a very specific oil or a very specific herb, I know that Kangen will emulsify it, mix it, make it what I need it to be. It can actually do that in front of me as a practical application for use. Now, a lot of filtration systems are good at removing things from, let's say, water, but they're not essentially making anything into a form of delivery system or a form of medicine. So active hydrogen from Kangen is basically a delivery system for our entire system. It's very powerful for transporting nutrients and minerals into the right places efficiently and with almost no effort by your system, by your body, because we are a huge organism and we need more conservative means of producing energy and building up ourselves. So I'm always going to focus on something that is certified and something that does not remove minerals out of our water supply. Reverse osmosis or distilled, whichever one people are using, they have no minerals. And if that's, that's okay with some people, that's fine. If they find ways of putting minerals into their system, that's totally okay. But I don't prefer, obviously, to remove something that nature put in. So if nature in a river stream, right? Remember, hydration is about minerals. for the most part. That's what it means to me. That's what it means to the people I work with and help all the time. If you remove what nature put in the river stream, in the bedrock, because water travels on bedrock, very specific rocks, very specific minerals, they are created and combined. Water has memory. That's a very important thing I want everybody to recognize. Water has memory. If there's water that enters your body with no minerals, it will rob you of your minerals, the completed structure. That's how it works. And we don't want our minerals to be lacking in the body or go missing in the body. That's why I follow nature. So I love to work with something that doesn't damage the minerals, doesn't remove the minerals from our water supply. And a lot of industries do that for a very specific reason, because they have agendas, guys. I hope I've answered your question, Sister Becky.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I'm gonna stick with the medical graded too.
I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going to conclude with something very, very important. Does anyone have one? Yeah, one.
What do you think of Fuji water?
Fuji? Okay, so
Yeah.
without making any specific claims, Fuji water is not bottled. It's not bottled the way people think it is. They're using very specific BPE plastic, and by the time it gets to us, from wherever it is collected, it is ultimately different. It is actually not what the company is claiming it to be. There's a lot of different tests we do on Fuji water, and it's not the pH everybody thinks it is. It's not the content it is. And remember, when you have BPA included plastic, you're creating a lot of plastic particulates that form in the bottle, and then we're consuming those plastic particles. So there's a lot of water bottles like Fuji that sit in the sun, or they sit in storages for a long time, months on end, and then they start to break down the plastic. And it's not very healthy at certain levels of accumulation in our body. Okay? I love it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys something else. I try my best not to absorb plastic. I love to use glass or ceramic. Glass or ceramic, as much as humanly possible. Now, the industry took us away from glass and ceramic for a reason. Not because plastic is more accommodating and more easier to use, but because it is cheaper to make. It is much more difficult for our environment to handle, and we don't want to live on plastic for the rest of our lives. Believe me when I tell you guys, we do not want plastic all around us conducting how we live and what we do. We want something that does not enter our bodies and start forming anomalies, start forming situations. So glass and ceramic are truly the best things to work with, to cook with, to eat with, to be around. Okay? Before concluding, okay, we have this one thing that I just want to conclude with, and that is something that has worked for a very long time in so many different situations, and it will change everything for you guys. There is a way, when we have a consultation and you can make an appointment, there's a way that within 8 days, there's a protocol, a very simple protocol. And once I teach you guys, once I show you guys how to do it for yourselves, because everybody's situation is different. That's why I'll always handle every situation on a personal level. to help everybody through it. But I can not promise, but guarantee, I will guarantee that within 8 days, anybody who does this protocol with me will lose 30 pounds at least, 30 pounds. So I'm going to repeat that again. A very healthy, very natural way of stimulating the system to lose 30 pounds, remove hunger, and reduce the control of the parasitic organism in your nervous system only in 8 days. And then after those 8 days of losing 30 pounds or more, just 8 days, that's all it is. You guys have options. You have incredible options like Sister Becky and her raw diet and lifestyle change, which is an incredible lifestyle change, and all the other amazing people we work with. You have options. Do you continue to lose weight and get healthier, or you do another system that works for you? But that is also included in this function. So 8 days, 30 pounds at least, guaranteed. For every single person, regardless of disorder.
So the 30-pound weight loss up to around 30 pounds, how, not how, does this protocol also protect the elasticity of your skin? Or will that 30-pound loss show, just asking me, your skin being loose and requiring something to be done?
That is a very good question. Yes, your skin will start to tighten up because the enzyme factor we're using, the very specific nutrients, living nutrients we're going to be using, will tighten up the skin. The body will start eating. Your body will actually eat the excess skin because it'll have no other choice. It will consume it. Now, you're not going to be starving, but the body will start eating a lot of fat. It'll start removing a lot of toxins out of the system, and it will start improving skincare and skin outlook.
That's a great answer. Thank you. Because I know, like with the GLP-1s, people will lose the weight, they'll lose it very quickly, or with the weight loss surgery, they will lose that weight very quickly, and then they have to follow up with skin surgery. So that is why I asked.
You know, I've met a lot of people who do tummy tucks. They do all kinds of, I would say, unnecessary surgical applications that affect their health because it's too invasive. Certain surgeries are, and I'll get to that in another podcast the next time. It's a very big topic of invasive or non-invasive surgeries. The more invasive the surgery is, the more drama there is in the system. The more the system psychologically, therapeutically needs to recover. So every time someone does a surgery to reduce how much skin they have, the body now has to adjust in so many different ways, and that takes a lot of healing. So I would never personally recommend certain surgeries over others. But no, when you work with me and everybody I work with, we don't do surgeries for removing skin or extra skin. We do it a very natural, non-invasive way.
I'm going to give a part C question then. So for people who have had the bariatric surgeries and are anticipating this skin removal, do you have a protocol that could help tighten their skin now?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have suggested, I wouldn't have exposed that there is a very amazing solution to straining and tightening the skin itself. And it has a lot to do with the right enzyme and the right stimulation in your metabolism. If you change your metabolism, I guarantee you the skin will change as well. Just like the nervous system has a massive role to play in the body, metabolism has its own amazing role to play.
Thank you very much. This has been a great
Oh,
Thursday.
thank you. Brother Forrest, are you there? Brother Forrest, are you there? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, my brother.
Brother Forrest, um, the next podcast that's happening, can you please share that information with us before we end this podcast?
Okay, it should be in your text.
Oh, Jesus.
Accepted you, American by Brother Bill Graves and MC right now by Brother Roscoe, Brother Guyver, and Brother Tommy are on for this panel.
Thank you, Brother Forrest. It comes way better out of you than out of me. That's why I'm asking. Okay? Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of our podcast. We will be back, and we will have even more insight and more information and more to discuss and to resolve. With that, I wish everybody a wonderful good night, and stay healthy, stay positive, and always have a good goal ahead of you. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Are you on every week, Vlad?
What?
Are you on every week?
Every 2 weeks. I'll be on every 2 weeks.
Every
So
2
I'll be
weeks.
twice a month.
And you start at 6 or 6:30?
We're going to focus on 6:30 every Thursday.
Every other Thursday at 6:30.
Yep, every other Thursday. That's correct.
Thank you very much. Have a great every day.
Have a great
Night.
week. Good night.
Night.
Thank you, Vlad.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Sister Becky.
So every other Thursday on the GrownFolk Talking Network, you can reach out and listen in to Vlad. He gave a lot of great information. Following his show every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. is The Real American Time to Wake Up. And it's great conversation on politics, on our social life, on history, on Black history, and what we need to do to build a better world. The Grown Folk Talking Facebook page is Grown Folk Talking with no G. Nope, Express Yourself. Grown Folk Talking, Express Yourself. And then PPN, Progressive Podcast Network. You can find their Facebook. You can see some of the other hosts that are on. And every morning at 7 a.m., they do have a prayer call. The number to call in is 520-525-8633. You can press the star to bypass the message. You can star 6 to mute yourself until the host opens the floor or invites you to speak. Um, but that's every day. They have a great lineup every day, every evening. And I really enjoyed today. A lot of great information. Let me locate Vlad. He is located in Brooklyn once again, and I will give his number. Let me locate his phone number. Let me locate his card. Okay, so it's Vladimir Sheglov, I believe. Schegglov, as in Victor. He is a molecular hydration specialist, and his phone number is 347-393-0630. 347-393-0630. If you are not local, if you are not in the New York tri-state area and you cannot get to him, call him anyway, because I'm sure he'll be able to help you and then direct you to what it is that you need. I am Ibarene. I'm just grateful that you listened in. I hope that you share this. I will have other videos that will follow this, as a matter of fact. And we are in our, well, I say tis the season of joy and pain, where there's a great season coming in, which makes a lot of people happy. But there are some people who are saddened by this season because life isn't what it used to be. And so I am in a 1 million books into 1 million hands, hearts, minds, and homes campaign for my two books. Mind is to mental as teeth are to dental, and we all have a mind. And suicide is a serious killer. Let's end it today. Those are my two books, and they are very, very good books. Producing a 14 episode docu series, so you can go to networkingforsuccess.info /promo. Networkingforsuccess.info /promo, and you can get the ebooks. They might be there still, 2 for $5, or for the campaign, they're 2 for $20. You can get the books, you can start reading them. They're Siamese twins, so pick the title that appeals to you the most, right? And just scroll through, read, share it with a friend. We do have an affiliate program for anyone who will be interested in us and helping us with this campaign. Um, it's a 50-50 split. So you do the work of sharing it out there. For every sale of the 2 for $20 ebooks, you will receive $10. Why? Why not? Why not? I mean, the goal is to reach as many people as possible, get these books into their hands. The books are great for ages 7 and above. It opens up conversation and it puts a lot of things into proper perspective. So, I'm going to end now. I really do appreciate you. Share the information, share the website. Even if you don't want to purchase the books, share it with the people you know. Again, 'tis the season, and it's better to than not to. Have a great every day.